like to welcome everybody to Breathitt County High School on a special day for Mr. Austin Sperry. Very proud of this young man, and it's a great day when a student athlete gets to continue their athletic and academic career. I've had the pleasure of being Austin's coach for seems like a long time now. He's been with us, and we're going to miss him. But just a tremendous athlete and competitor, a guy that always gave us everything he had. Uh, was always willing to go the extra mile for anything we ask him to do, and just a great student here at our school, a great athlete, and just thankful that I had the opportunity to coach you, Austin, and I'm excited to see what you can do in the future. I know you've got a bright future ahead of you, and you can do whatever you set your mind to. We've seen that, and we're extremely proud of you. A lot of people here proud of you, so we're gonna give some people some opportunity to talk now, and I'll let with Coach Honeycutt get us started here, and here you go, Jeff.
I had the opportunity for the past 2 years to be part of his life and be just a little small chapter in his book that he's writing, and it's one that we talk about him as a ball player and as a person, but I saw him as part of the family that he's got that's beside him here that support him, his and his players that played with him football and basketball wise. He was a happy-go-lucky guy, and he's really done the. He's took his career to the next level, and the sky's the limit for him. And as long as he will do what's expected of him, great things will happen for him. And just this past season, when the going got tough, toward the end of the season, he buckled down, and he led us to Rep Arena. And I know. One of the comments that probably gets lost, everybody gets caught up in his high flying ability, being able to dunk the ball and do all that. But the one thing that he does that people forget about, he makes his teammates better around him, and that's what he's going to be doing at the next level. And by making his teammates better, that made us better in order to achieve our dream of getting to Rep Arena and his dream of playing at the D1 level. And I'm so happy that I was just part of it. So
We're blessed being from a small area that we get to see a lot of these young men and women that play sports for us grow up, and Austin's no different. I remember him I guess it was kindergarten at Rusaw, walking around on his keep and cherish, blessed to have had, and again, I can't say enough, just thank you all for what you've done for school and the team that you played on. Thank you for that. At this time, there's been I know James David wants to say everything. Welcome him up here.
I want to speak as loud as I can also. Mike, for some reason or other, testing again. Can you get better without the mic? It ain't working. Let me just speak as loud as I can. Can everyone hear me? Okay, I want to speak a few words on behalf of Coach IUN. This is his assessment of Austin. He says, Austin kind of gives us Jason Williams his athleticism, vision, flair for the game. She said, we invited him to camp last summer, offered him after seeing played with Team Thad on the IQEYBL circuit. He averaged 23.8 points, 6.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists. But anyway, 837 rebounds, 683 assists, 144 career games. Actually, 164 career games. Anyway, for his career, he averaged 18.9 points, 5.8 rebounds, 4.7 assists per game, while shooting 56% from the floor, 72% from the free throw line. Now, that's the words from his coach for next year. But now I want to say a few words from speaking on behalf of Breathitt County. You know, the first time I watched Austin play was on his floor. It was January 3rd on a Friday night, 2020. He played Hazard. And I was much like the other players on the floor. Now, I wasn't playing, and neither were they. They were watching. Now, I was watching. We were watching Austin do his thing. 360 layup. There was an assist between his legs on a fast break. I thought, wow, that's pretty impressive for a kid that young, doing the things he was doing. I was really impressed. Now, can you hear me okay? Okay. So, you know, after the game was over, I caught up with him. I said, young fella, you're pretty good, and you got a pretty good future ahead of you. But I said, all the other players were just watching you play. And I said, you're a great scorer, but at some point in time, you're going to be measured not so much by how many points you can score, but by how much better you can make the other players you're playing with. You know, I knew that he was goal-oriented, and at that time, looking around this Coliseum, it had been a long time since there had been a banner hung on the boys' side, like 24 years at that time, in 2020. But after watching Austin play, I thought, it's going to change. We're going to see some banners hung here. You know, and 2 years later, we won an All-A, made it to the championship game, in that small school tournament. 2023, we hung that banner right over here. And then I think people started to think, now what does the future hold for Austin Sperry? He's achieved a goal, hang that banner. Is he going to turn his attention now to maybe bettering himself a little bit by going to a prep school? Maybe he's going to get offers from other big-time programs who have seen his talent, woo him away from Breathitt County. I knew a lot of the other opposing schools in the area were hoping that would be the case. I'd heard it personally from many of them. I hope this is his last year. But, you know, Austin had more business to attend to. We come back as a junior year, and looks like we're going to go back to state. But we get beat in the championship game, and then I think people are thinking, well, now Austin's gone, especially with the opportunities that would await him. With an elite level prep school, is Austin now going to turn his attention to bettering himself in his hopes of presenting a better resume to a college scout? You know, and turning down an opportunity to go to a high-level program, to a high-level prep school, really says a whole lot for Austin and his care for his school, his teammates, his community, his coaches. It says a lot about him coming back. He had a great season. Entering the tournament, Austin had matured so much, had developed his game to such an extent. They had 5 games spread from the district championship at Wolfe County to the game and state tournament against North Laurel. He shot 70% inside the arc, 52% from beyond the arc. In that championship game, only took 11 shots. They made 9 of them, 3 or 4 from beyond the arc. Looking back to that young fella here in 2020 with his teammates watching him play, one would have thought, okay, now Austin has paid his dues. He's gotten back to the state tournament. He was here as a sophomore. He's made his way back. This is his time. He's going to show what he can do. With all that athleticism, all that ability that he's got, that raw athleticism, that, boy, you just can't hardly contain that. It's amazing that in that game, in that environment, that he only took 11 shots. Played perhaps the best game of his whole career. And what a difference it was from 2020 as a youngster here on this floor, with everybody watching him play, his teammates. Austin kept everybody involved. The game didn't just play through him. He'd learned if 164 games, that's how many games you played here. That's a record probably staying for a long time. But if you don't learn anything in 164 games, you learn one thing. You learn that you win as a team and you lose as a team. And I know that Austin probably always felt that his team needed him. But I think he, in his maturity, came to realize that he needed them. And that you don't win big games by yourself. It takes everybody. You win as a team, you lose as a team. In the closing seconds of that state tournament game, if you were like me, I think you were probably thinking, Austin, just take the game over. You can do this. You've got the skills. You've got the fortitude. You've got the mental acuity to do this. Just do it. But, again, Austin learned a whole lot. Austin learned that, once again, it was all about team. He'd learned as they had come to trust him, he had come to trust his teammates. And that shows so much about his character. It shows so much about coming back here. He really sacrificed a whole lot for this community. He could have really increased his resume. He could have really made himself look so much better to college scouts. Playing in a small school in Eastern Kentucky, it's hard to get noticed. It's hard to get that recognition. But he says a whole lot about him. So here we are, the legacy that Austin Sperry leaves behind in Breathitt County. Now, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for anyone to match that from what he's contributed here. 2 All-A's, 2 banners hanging over here. Again, those hang there not so much from what Austin Sperry did, but what he empowered his teammates to do. And that's why he's going to a Division I school. That's why he's going to be playing in this Horizon League next year at IU Indy. That's what college scouts look for. How much better can you make my team? We know what you can do. So Austin leaves back a legacy, and where he's going, who knows? This is just another stop on Austin's journey. IU Indy won't be the final stop. I can assure you that. Watching him here in 2020, seeing the potential that he had, seeing how much he has grown, seeing him achieve his goals, helping others to achieve their goals as well. And the future really, the door is just opening. I wrote a story in the Times Voice in 2020 about that game that when I first saw him play, and it talked about Austin Sperry making moves, Austin Sperry impressing, and so this is just another move on the journey for Austin Sperry, and we're all glad that all the moves that we saw him make were on in a Bobcat uniform. They could just as easily be in somewhere else, and we're so thankful, Austin, that you stayed. And if you're with me, let's give Austin the praise he deserves this morning. Let's give him a big hand and thank him for staying and helping us to achieve our goals.
Thank you, James David. Any y'all want to say anything? Try to. Anybody else want to say anything? Austin.
Oh, I just want to thank everybody for coming out here. I know some of y'all probably missed work and y'all missed class, but you wanted to miss, so it's all right. But just thank everybody. I want to thank this community and what all of you've done for me. If without you all, this isn't possible. So just want to thank you all and go Breathitt.
It is going to be. It's different looking at him in those different colors. He looks good in blue and white. I always thought, but we'll be pulling for him, and even though he's wearing I guess that's the maroon. I can't. My colorblind. Is that right? I ain't gonna say red. Uh, but Indiana University of Indianapolis is getting a great player, and we're excited for Austin and excited for what the future holds. And it's a great day. So at this time, Austin, if you will have the honor of signing. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. It's a great day. Enjoy this, Austin. Enjoy your day here. Proud of you. Thank you to everybody that's been a part of this. Our administration, our wonderful guidance counselors that do so much. So just thank you for everybody in the community, and stick around and take as many pictures as you want. Talk, whatever you guys feel like doing. But thank you again.